Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Hey, good morning. It is the Morning Drive on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com. So yesterday, the little court ruling, and the NCAA president, Charlie Baker, said in a statement he was glad the court upheld the rules of our members and said common sense won a round today. I don't know how many rounds this has got.
Oh, man, we are losing badly, but I think it's well said. But, man, it is common sense is taking a beat down of late.
Oh, there's
when it comes to college athletics.
I mean, I can't tell you how many things, even just in general walk of life stuff. I mean, you just kind of look at common sense would tell you this, but I feel like all of us have lost our sense of common sense.
You're not understanding. Common sense is not as high as you think it is.
Yeah, it's lower. As a matter of fact, we need to change the term. I mean, it's not common.
Yeah, uncommon sense. So I'm referring to Charles Bediako. His basketball career is over again for the college ranks. I say that.
Oh no!
There's got to be another court that he can go to. He was denied his motion for a preliminary injunction, which ends his season with the Crimson Tide. A Tuscaloosa County Circuit judge halted his ability to gain eligibility.
There is another court he can go to. It's called a basketball court,
the G League.
Overseas.
Yeah. He just ain't going to make what he was going to make at Alabama. So he had left Alabama for the NBA draft in 2023, signed a two-way NBA contract, played the past 3 seasons in the G League. This is not like some guy that, tore up his knee and has rehabbed his way back. This is not somebody that, had a grade situation and got bounced from school. I mean, he's been gone for 3 years. 3.
Making money.
And I wonder if... I don't know if the circuit judge is an appointed judge or if it's an elected judge. There's somebody out there that will be able to tell us this. But I'll bet you Judge Pruitt, if he's an elected judge, I hope he's got his retirement set. Mm-hmm. But if it was a football player in Alabama, it'd probably be much harder for him than basketball. Because I got to think, even people that have no sense of common sense would have to look at this and go, yeah, it makes no sense for this kid to be playing. Just doesn't make any sense.
Yep. Didn't make sense before either.
Right. He's Charlie Baker, who's the president of the NCAA, said the court saw this for what it is, an attempt by professionals to pivot back to college and crowd out the next generation of students. Right, and because that's happening. That's happening in a lot of sports where you have kids that have been able to stay in an extra year because of COVID. Mm-hmm. And there were some COVID cases, a lot of COVID cases that made a lot of sense. There were a lot of COVID cases in terms of the extra eligibility that didn't make any sense. I mean, I understood the spring sport deal of giving all those, student athletes an extra year. But for college basketball, I mean, your regular year was done. You got cheated out of your postseason play. No question. And for that, I'm sorry. There were a lot of people that had losses during 2020. A lot of businesses, people lost, loved ones, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But this extra year plus, injury years plus all of this other kind of stuff has squeezed out this group of kids that are, have graduated from high school that have been trying to gain their own spot and get developed. And it's just been, it's a stranglehold, it's a chokehold.
Yeah.
And it's really, really, really unfortunate. So I got to think he's done, right? He was
at the collegiate level. You would think so.
Yeah. And this is this is basic stuff. The judge said that Bediako didn't meet the criteria for a preliminary injunction that would have allowed him to play because he had failed to establish that he would suffer irreparable harm, had failed to establish that he has no adequate remedy at law without the issuance of the injunction, failed to demonstrate that he has at least a reasonable chance of success on the ultimate merits of the claims. It's all legal mumbo-jumbo, but it makes a lot of sense. Finally, somebody had
Those two sentences don't go well together, Chuck. It can't be mumbo-jumbo and make a lot of sense.
I know, but finally somebody had the cojones to stand up to somebody and say
I agree.
no.
I agree. But it's like you're calling him a jumbo shrimp.
Yeah.
Or military intelligence.
Right. The judge also ruled that Bediako is subject to NCAA rules. Which says this: to obtain the benefits.
Those exist?
Right. To obtain the benefits promised to him for participation in NCAA basketball, the plaintiff must be eligible to participate in NCAA basketball. Eligibility in the NCAA to participate is controlled by the defendant's application of the eligibility rules legislated by the NCAA membership. In other words, the membership stated the rules. Here's the rules to be eligible. You did not meet them. Therefore, you're not eligible. Sorry about you. You know?
Sad story.
You made your bed.
Yeah.
You made your bed. You chose.
You made choices.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, we all at various levels of life can look to things and say, that was the fork in the road. I went left and it put me on this path. Mm-hmm. If I'd gone right, I don't know if I'd have been on the same path to end up wherever I've ended up, or with whomever I've ended up with, or whatever the circumstances of life are. That's just kind of how it goes. And now Nate Oates on his radio show called Hey Coach, as opposed to Alabama basketball with Nate Oates or Crimson Tide basketball with Nate Oates, it's called Hey Coach. He said he was disappointed in the ruling and disappointed in the system, both the NCAA, the courts, the whole thing.
I also am disappointed in the system.
Yeah.
Probably for different reasons than
right.
Coach Oates.
I mean, how many times were we told you can't have an agent, but his agent did not immediately respond to a request for a comment, which those things have gone out the wind too. They've got agents. And they probably should.
And they're allowed to.
Yeah, and they're allowed to. Yeah, and they're allowed to. Oh boy. So, well, they got that checked off the list for the week. So, somebody asked how many wins will be vacated. Well, he was declared eligible by a judge, so they're not going to be able to take those wins. And they had a loss too with him against Florida. So, there you go. 6:40 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thanks for being with us. The little feature we call This Day in Sports History is next with Jeff McGuire.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Time for This Day in Sports History. Today is Tuesday, February the 10th, 2026. Here is Jeff McGuire.
Would either of you want to be the youngest manager in Major League Baseball history?
Sure, absolutely.
Well,
seems like that would give you extra time to make more money, yeah.
Both of us, all three of us have missed it.
Okay.
Because in 1924, Bucky Harris at 27 becomes the youngest Major League Baseball manager, this with the Washington Senators.
The guy that won the Super Bowl the other day was the third youngest to win the Super Bowl, Mike McDonald. Like 38, he's got a 1-year-old. It's just crazy how young these coaches are getting younger and younger.
1956, Jim Reed scores 37 in a 101-76 victory over West Texas State, giving the eventual Border Conference champion Texas Tech Red Raiders their 5th straight win.
How about that? Jim Reed, a member of the Ring of Honor.
1961, the AFL's LA Chargers moved to San Diego.
They would move back.
Yes. 1969. LSU's Pete Maravich scores 66 points, despite his team losing to Tulane 101-94.
Do you know where the LA Clippers originated?
San Francisco?
San Diego.
San Diego?
Yes.
1989, Celtics K.C. Jones and the Cavalier Lenny Wilkens are elected to the NBA Hall of Fame.
I always thought K.C. Jones was a very underrated coach. I mean, I realized he made it to the Hall of Fame, but he had he dealt with a ton of talent with the Celtics, and I don't think he ever got the credit that he really deserved for coaching those guys to all the wins they did and championships, etc. Can't just roll the ball out there, Jamie.
No doubt. It takes meshing the right guys and running the right plays and chemistry and all that good stuff.
In 2011, Jerry Sloan resigns as head coach of the Utah Jazz. It is National Cream Cheese Brownie Day. Don't know that I've ever had one.
Yeah, I didn't.
I don't know why you have to mess with a brownie.
Right. Why do you got to put cream cheese on it?
Or anything, really.
Yeah.
It's good on a bagel. Happy birthday to Elizabeth Banks, who's 52. Lauren Dern is 59. Robert Wagner, 96. Alex Gordon, 42. Lenny Dykstra, 63. Lance Berkman is 50. John Calipari is 67. And Greg Norman is 71. And on this day, 1962, American spy Francis Gary Powers is released by the Soviets in exchange for Soviet Colonel Rudolf Abel, a senior KGB spy who was caught in the United States 5 years earlier. Really great Tom Hanks movie based on this. Bridge of Spies. Highly recommend. You don't seem worried, boys. Would it help? That's this day in sports history.
All right, this day in sports history. Thank you, Jeff. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to WT973.com for that, or the mobile app. Visual Edge IT hotline, it too is open at 806-771-0973. Do you remember a Houston Astro by the name of Dickie Thon?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dickie Thon, his son needed a kidney, and Dickie Thon gave him one.
That's cool.
He made the All-Star game in 1983. He played for the Astros, and his son, who his name is Joe, and he's also in baseball, needed a kidney, and he said he wasn't concerned with any risks or issues. Instead, focused on helping his son however he could. Dickie Thon is 67. He said it was a no-brainer. I made up my mind, and his son had been battling kidney issues since 2011. He was diagnosed after getting a routine physical during spring training. So, at any rate, his condition worsened and needed a kidney. So, Dickie Thon gave his son a kidney. So, good for Dickie Thon, and good for those that have do. That's I won't say that's common, but I mean it happens.
Yeah.
quite regularly.
Mm-hmm.
But good for him. Now, this is good, and it's sad that it's happening after the fact, and maybe this is just the way that he would have wanted it. But Indiana is going to honor Bob Knight with a statue. They announced this yesterday. The statue will be displayed alongside the 1976 National Championship statues in the lobby of Assembly Hall. Athletic Director Scott Dolson said, Coach Knight's influence on the game of basketball is immeasurable, but his impact on this university and Hoosier basketball fans is even deeper. He started, I did not know this, Scott Dolson, who's the athletic director, he started his career as being a student manager under Bob Knight. He said, I saw firsthand the unparalleled standard of excellence he demanded. He taught me and countless others that success is the result of meticulous preparation and unwavering discipline. So that announcement came the same day that Indiana honored their 75-76 team that won the national championship, and they were the last undefeated team to win a Division I men's basketball championship. So they announced that, and then the team that was trying to do that gets knocked off. It'd be really, really hard in today's basketball environment to go undefeated all the way through. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's pretty close.
I mean, we've seen it on the women's side, right,
Mm-hmm.
in recent years.
Yeah.
UConn, UConn, right?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. But on the men's side, could you see that happening?
I mean, Arizona got past the halfway point. I mean, it's clearly difficult, but it just all depends on how good you are.
Yeah. No, I got it, but man, it just seems like
no, I think it's hard. There's no question.
Yeah. 6:52 this morning here on the morning drive. I saw this too, and I thought this was interesting. So this guy who was the head coach at Montana, his name is Bobby Hauck. He retired, Jamie. He's 61. He retired on February the 4th. He said, "There's never a convenient spot in the college football calendar to announce you're retiring, so today's as good as any. I wasn't going to have them spread my ashes on the practice field because I dropped dead out there. There comes a juncture where it's time to do something else." Okay? Yesterday, Jamie, he was announced as the defensive coordinator at Illinois.
Okay.
Saying, "I am grateful for the opportunity to join the Illinois football program. Coach Bielema is one of the great head coaches in all of football, and I'm excited, extremely excited to work for him and the student athletes and staff here at the University of Illinois. I have a great feeling about the players, the coaches, and the future of this program. I will miss Montana dearly because of the relationships and the passion I have for the football program." Now, I would tell you, since he's 61, that he's still got some fuel left in the tank, and maybe he discovered that. Maybe he got home from retiring, and his wife said, "Okay, buddy boy, now that you're home, you are all mine. You got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, and you got to do this." And the phone rang, and it was Brett Bielema. "Hey, I got a defensive coordinator job open." "No, hey, that sounds like a good idea." I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, a lot of different reasons. I mean, maybe he just was tired of the schedule that a head coach has, and having a little bit less responsibility as the defensive coordinator kind of fit him a little bit better.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they paid him handsomely. That was probably a good part of it too. So
fund his retirement.
I don't necessarily blame it on his wife, but whatever narrative you want to push there, Chuck. Again,
if he'd have said, "Hey, I just don't want to be the," it made it sound like, "Hey, I'm ready to retire and put my feet up," and then here we are, just a few days later, going, "I think I'm going to be the DC at Illinois." Anyway.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Good morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. We've been asked this a couple of times here this morning on the Yates Flooring Center chat line about Stephanie Okechekwo, the 7'1" transfer from Nigeria, with regard to any update on her. I would tell you this at this point, I don't expect her to play this year. I do expect her to be fully eligible to play next year. I think there's a lot of factors here. I mean, she's in college for the first time. She's getting herself in basketball shape. She's integrating herself into the kind of the Lady Raiders system. And there's, you got to learn the defense and learn the offense. And the other thing is, I mean, with this, well, as you've been playing, you interject somebody like her, it would completely change your modus operandi, your offense, your defense, and how you do things. And so I know that you would say, well, I mean, couldn't she make a factor down the stretch? Yeah, but you only got a handful of games left. And so when you don't, and I don't know that they know exactly how many years of eligibility that she'll have, but my understanding is there's no question that she'll be eligible in the fall. She probably could play right now, but I think there's so many other factors that go into this, to getting her, ready to getting her acclimated and all those things. So at this point, I mean, she traveled for the first time with the team to Houston, so that was good. So she got to kind of experience that, what it's like to travel on the road and go through all that, the scouting meetings, and she's going through everything. She's got a really nice shot from the outside.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Well, I mean, she does. She does. I mean,
she's how tall?
She's 7'1".
Stand near the basket. Stand near the basket.
I understand that. But
nobody wants to see her shooting jumpers on the perimeter.
No, but I mean, I know that.
Nobody.
I know that, but I mean, I asked about it the other day, and one of the coaches says, like, she's got a really good shot from the outside.
And everyone she misses, Tech fans are going to be like, why is our 7-footer shooting jumpers?
Sure. And I don't
every single
I don't know
one.
that I would call them jumpers because I don't know how.
Well, what are they?
Well, I mean,
Are they hook shots?
No, they're not.
Are they floaters?
I mean, like, not hanging the air jumpers like Bailey Maupin, but I mean, I guess she's jumping up off the floor a little bit, but I mean, she's got a really
set shot.
Well, I mean, but yeah,
well, if it's not a jumper, it's got to be something.
It's like a set shot. Yeah, it's like just what I saw her shooting the other night in Houston. It was like, wow, she can shoot the ball from the outside. That was something. But anyway, I at this point in time, I don't expect her to play this year. And you only have 6 games left, plus one in the tournament, potentially in the Big 12 tournament, because you're one and done, or you keep winning. And then, the postseason tournament as well. So, again, I don't know what the number of years is going to be from an eligibility standpoint, but I just would say I think you're going to be able to add additional people because of her internationally, because I think those folks that are involved in that kind of see how this has gone for her and the recruitment and getting her here and getting her into this situation. I think it's going to really pay some dividends for you over the next couple of years. But
so you expect the team to be to have a lot of foreign flavor in the upcoming years? I would think you're going to have some. I don't know how much the flavor is going to be, if it's going to be, but I think, you could add a couple of people. I mean, I think you're in on some recruits because of her that you wouldn't have been in on previously. But they've done a lot of groundwork internationally, which a lot of schools in the Big 12 have done. I mean, you look at a lot of these rosters, and there's a lot of kids that from other countries that have come in and they're dominating and helping. So I think what we're seeing this year, I don't think it's a flash in the pan in terms of, you've got a senior laden ball club that's doing really, really well. But I also think that you're building for the future so that you can have some sustained success. So I think enjoy this team right now. They're 16th in the country. They're a lot of fun to watch. Who knows how far they can go. I mean, you just kind of enjoy the ride. But then also kind of look and go, hey, you got some pieces, you got some players coming in that are really attractive. And I think with what they've got in the pipeline to be able to recruit for, I think is also really exciting for the next few years. So I think the future's bright. So I think it's real bright, actually. So I think it's Coach Gerlich's got her hands full this offseason. I mean, with losing the amount of seniors that you're losing, you've raised the bar this year.
Absolutely.
And to be back just even to where you are next year after losing every player except Jalen Bristow that matters is going to be a really tough task. Now, you've got a good recruiting class coming in, no question, but you can't rely that heavily on
you got to get some
freshmen. You got to age in a hurry. So I think this is it's going to be an interesting off season for that coaching staff, no doubt. They've got their work cut out for them.
But I think there's a lot of that work that's being done right now, and I'm not privy to everything that's coming in because I don't know.
Please don't tell us they're talking to other teams' players again, Chuck.
No, we're not. No, it's not even me. I'm not even talking to other teams' players.
Okay, thank you.
Staying away from that. So
yeah, I'm sure they're doing scouting and
here's something for
looking at girls that they might be interested in and all that good stuff.
Because I know that you're such a big fan of the dad joke and all those kind of things. So here's a real key for tonight's game when you take on Kansas. They have a player by the name of Samaya Nichols. She leads the team in assists. So when you talk to Choice Woodman today, it's a real key tonight to keep Nichols from dropping dimes for 4 quarters.
Now, are you going to give credit to the people that came up with this?
Rob Bro gave me that.
Okay,
He
yeah.
gave me a piece of that.
You forget, you guys talk really loudly.
I didn't know if you were in your office
Just
or not.
because my office door is closed doesn't mean I can't hear you guys.
I don't try to talk loudly. It just kind of happens.
I understand.
But we kind of he and I put that together. But he
It was
came
good.
up with that.
Yes, you guys did good. I think you should use it tonight.
Yeah,
I definitely think you should. I think Mark will be entertained.
Oh yeah, he'll
Yeah.
if he's not already, because this is kind of his window of time to listen. So anyway, that's the big key tonight. Then do I need to give Rob, since I've given Rob credit once, I don't need to give him credit a second time tonight, do I?
Yeah, probably not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those folks.
But don't try to say you were working on this joke for several days either. Just tell the joke.
I'm just trying to be able to tell it.
Just tell the joke.
Right.
You did good. That was good delivery
good.
there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to deliver it solidly.
Just tell the joke.
Yeah.
Let everybody enjoy the joke.
Yeah.
Don't say, by the way, I wrote this joke. I think it's some of my best work.
No, I don't.
Don't do that.
Make sure you say it in that voice, too. Hear ye, hear ye.
King Chuck. Yeah. Oh goodness. At any rate, so I'm excited about this over the next couple of weeks to see kind of what can happen, because I think it's could be some fun.
Oh, I think it's absolutely going to be fun. Just getting into the NCAA tournament again is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You're just hoping that nobody on that roster is like, hey, we're here, we've arrived. Because, you've got the potential to win a few games and, maybe shock the world and do something really special.
Yeah, because, and I think it's a pretty level-headed group right now. I think like just people on the staff go, hey, it's a success, a huge success making the tournament, given the fact that you haven't even come close since 2013. Mm-hmm. The fact that you're going to finish at least 500 is something you haven't done since like 2013, and you haven't been above 500 since like 2013 and 2005. So, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good stretch right now. So we'll see what happens tonight. We'll have it for you at 5:30.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to ask you a Texas Tech baseball question.
Okay.
We all know that the pitching has been an issue of late in recent years. We know that you finished second to last in the 14-team Big 12 conference in team ERA last year. Not trying to put too much just on 3 games at the beginning of the season, because you just never know what you're going to get at the beginning of the season. But I want to ask you this question. What is a number of earned runs allowed this weekend that you will say, hey, I think we're making progress here. I think that's a good step in the right direction. What's a number of earned runs that you will allow that you'll still feel good about? So obviously your number, and anything less you'd feel good about.
Yeah.
Remember, you're playing 2 top 25 teams this weekend, 1 top 10 team. What would make you feel like, hey, we've
turned the corner.
We've turned the corner. I'm feeling good about the chances of this pitching staff, being better.
Man.
What's that number? Or below?
Okay. What was the earned run average last year?
I think it was in the 6.5-ish or something like that.
So you're talking about the total number of earned runs?
Yeah, just total number of earned runs.
Okay. This is going to sound high, but I think given who you're playing, Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, and Arkansas, I'm going to say 12.
6.49, by the way.
Okay. I'm going to say 12 over the course of those 3 games. So that's an average of 4. Mm-hmm. That may be too low. Jeff?
I'd be really happy with an ERA of 4 over the weekend. I'm not going to judge that at all. But the other question I ask is, how did you get there? How many innings got extended by an error that then came back? Well,
then that's not an earned run.
But then the next at bat goes away, and the next at bat goes away, and they become earned runs. Like the pitching was bad last year. No argument. I would probably take anything under 4.5 for an ERA. So that's 14 runs, 15 runs would be awesome. But it's does 1 turn into 5? Does an inning collapse on you? That's where I would have a better sign. I know that's not your question, but do you prevent the extra runs going in when something goes bad? That would be a sign that things are looking in the right direction for me. Okay.
Just to give you guys reference here. Okay, Tech's ERA was 6.49. That was 13th out of 14. BYU's with 7.04. The leader in the conference last year was UCF at 4.31.
Oh, so 4.
Okay.
So 12 might be way too low then.
Okay. So what was your number, Jeff?
Like 14 or 15 total runs this weekend that are earned.
Mm-hmm. I think my number is fully trying to guess how this. I understand what Jeff's saying. Like, how does it look? What does it look like? Because you could have one bad game, but then you pitch really well in 2 games, right?
And I'd feel awesome.
And you'd feel good about that, right?
Yeah.
You can say,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, Friday was bad, but boy, Saturday and Sunday you really threw it well, right?
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, you gave up 10.
You gave up 10 runs.
You lost
on
10
Friday,
to
right.
5 on Friday, right?
Yeah.
But then your number ended up being 17,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, okay, you only gave up 7 runs the next 2 days combined. That's pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think all of us baseball fans would take that.
Okay. Considering it's right off the bat in the season, considering the level of competition that you're playing, I think my number of I'm feeling good. Like we've turned the corner, we're making progress here. I think if you're under 6 runs a game. So my number's at 18.
Okay, so I was way off.
No, I mean there's no right or wrong.
No, I know, but I mean just in terms of what's realistic, I was probably way off.
Again, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 top 6 teams in the Big 12 last year had an ERA under 5. Okay, they're college pitchers. The college game is more offensive a lot of times, right? So, unlike the big leagues or whatever. So, I think being under, if you were at 5, I think you'd be thrilled. So 15 total for the weekend of earned runs, I think you should be thrilled. Okay, I feel like, if you're at 18 this weekend against high quality competition, and also it's the beginning of the year. I mean, guys aren't at their normal pitch amounts. Mm-hmm. You're going to see more pitchers, all the above. Freshmen are getting out there for the first time. They're doing it in a big league ballpark. Where maybe the nerves are there a little bit more. But also, it's a bigger ballpark too. So maybe that helps the pitchers a little bit.
And also keep in mind, it's a different situation from last year. I mean, last year you opened up with number 6 North Carolina, but you only gave up 17 runs that weekend. And I say only 17 runs, but that's to a number 6 team 3 times in a weekend. That's not what you're facing this weekend.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's some comparability there that you can kind of balance that with to show some improvement for this year.
Do you subscribe to the theory that pitchers are ahead of hitters at this stage of the season when you're getting started?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Would you say that's the case?
I think different players are different. Some guys are better, are ready quicker. Some guys are not.
Yeah. Do you have a sense by and large of how that's going for the Tech guys?
I would say the hitters are above or in front of the pitchers at this point.
Right now? Okay.
Yeah.
But that's also because they've faced each other 55 times.
Yeah.
They know everybody knows everybody's strength and everybody's weakness.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
With us today on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. Come to you from the First United Bank studio. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line, Visual Edge IT hotline. It's open too at 806-771-0973. Plenty of hoops tonight. Friendship Girls and Boys will have it for you on Sunday 97.7. They take on Odessa. That'll be at 6. The boys to follow. Lady Raider basketball tonight from the arena on 100.7 The Score and 93.7 The Eagle. That'll be at 5:30 with the tip at 6 o'clock tonight. Okay. Then the Red Raiders take on Colorado tomorrow. And then baseball on Friday morning. Kind of a mid-morning, kind of go home, grab a little lunch while you're listening to Jamie and Mike Gustafson as they take on the Oklahoma Sooners. We'll have it for you on both Double T 97.3 and 100.7 The Score. Getting excited?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is your outlook for this baseball season look like?
I think it's a team that's good enough to get to the postseason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you, as you've watched them scrimmage and learned more about them, do you feel like you're more excited than you were back in the fall?
I guess about the same.
Okay.
I can't speak. I mean, I feel good, but I don't feel like I felt bad then. You know me enough about me to know that I don't get too high, too low.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sit here today and tell you I think the team's going to win a national championship, but I'm not going to sit here today and tell you that I don't see a lot more positives from where you were a season ago. So,
have you ever tried the other side of life of like getting too high or getting too low? I mean, just to see what that experience would be like for you. Like where you become as giddy as a goose and then as down as a duck.
Unfortunately, I've found myself too low at times. Yes,
mm-hmm.
Sure, certain.
Mm-hmm.
When I am giddy as a duck,
giddy as a goose,
giddy as a
goose, and down as a duck.
It happens. You're just not gonna know.
Okay.
It absolutely happens. It absolutely happens.
Okay.
If you were my family, you could say, yes, I've seen Dad really excited.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's not ever going to be in public.
Okay. It's like out in the backyard or something like that. You jump for joy and stuff like that.
No, I don't really jump for joy, but
okay.
I'll have
express your emotions, things like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I keep that to myself.
Okay. Man, that's it. It seems so constrained, so bottled up. But that's you do you, man.
I don't feel like I'm going to explode at all.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would you encourage me to be a little more even keel on things? Or just be myself?
No, you have every right to be however you want to be. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Jamie is the type of guy that can be happy and he knows it and he'll clap his hands. But he doesn't need to let everybody know he's clapping his hands that he's excited.
Jamie is the type of guy that is really bored of the Jamie conversation and would love to talk about something else.
Okay.
Chuck is the type of guy.
We can talk about Chuck, or we can talk about Jeff.
Chuck is the type of guy that when he's excited, he needs to let everybody know that he's excited, because if he doesn't, they don't understand how excited Chuck Heinz is.
There is currently a pot, and there's kettles, and I think Jeff McGuire and Chuck Heinz are very similar personalities when that comes. We all know when Jeff's in good mood.
Oh, sure.
We all know in good mood.
I wear my emotions on my sleeve.
Yeah. And we know when Jeff's in a bad mood too.
I wear all of them. You never have to guess where you sit with me.
Yes.
Okay.
Volume is usually a little bit louder in both of those situations.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
But completely different at the same time.
8:06 this morning here on the Morning Drive. I've got a football thing for you. We'll get to here at 8:15, but this from the Yates Flooring Center chat line with regard to baseball. This is an observation with regard to giving up earned runs, blah, blah, blah. If we give up 5 a game but we score 3 or less, I won't be overly thrilled. If we give up 7 a game but we score 8 plus per game, I'll be thrilled. Okay.
That's great. That's great. We weren't talking about winning or losing games.
Yeah.
We were talking about feeling like your pitching staff has made progress.
Mm-hmm.
That was what the question was about. It wasn't whether I would rather us give up 10 runs a game and score 11 and win every game than us have a ERA of 2 and lose games 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
That was not the question. The question was, what number do you feel better about your pitching staff with?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a different conversation. Obviously, we all want to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you, let me ask you this. Do you feel good about the offense, the bats?
I do. I really do. I think there's a lot of good options there as far as different guys. So on any given day, it can be somebody else that can lead the charge. But I think you've still got guys battling for positions, and I think it's going to come down to who's hitting the best. And Coach Tadlock's going to have the versatility to move some guys around and play some guys in different spots to get the hottest bats in the lineup. I love all of that. I think that's great, but the memory that you have of this offense is not scoring a lot of runs against Texas and Oklahoma in their 2 scrimmages. So until you see them doing it against teams that aren't your own pitching staff, you just don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah. But, I mean, by and large, I mean, I think it's when you say that you don't feel like that you're going to necessarily be relying on one guy or 2 or 3 guys where you can kind of spread it around that allows somebody to have an off day. Right.
I mean, Logan Hughes isn't going to kill it every day. It appears that he is pretty much every day. But, I mean, he's going to have off days. Yeah. He's going to go through a stretch where he isn't swinging it great.
But you wouldn't be surprised if he was all Big 12 or the Big 12 Player of the Year, would you?
He was all Big 12 last year, so definitely would not be surprised. But would I be surprised if he was the Big 12 Player of the Year? No. I feel like he's in a group of 4 or 5 guys that are the favorites.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Dan in Dallas has this question. This is not coming from me. He wants to know if I've gone into your office to inspect and make sure the pins are in good shape for the new season. I've not been into Jamie's office to inspect that, but you've bought new pins, right?
No.
Oh. Still have some left over.
Yes.
Okay. Still have some good ink left.
Yes.
Okay.
Not going to just throw them away.
Okay.
Not wasteful.
No. Okay. Still got some ink in the pen, Dan.
We got rid of all the losses last year. Now we just got wins left in those pens.
That's right.
There you go.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet973.com.